Hello there YouTube, Tiddlywinks here, and I'm going to go ahead and make a video about kind of my top list of things that preppers should look into getting and making sure that they have plenty of. And my number one thing, of course, the one thing that human beings cannot live without for more than a week, water. But where are you going to get this water? Well, if you live in a nice little place with a little well like I do, I have water. My family actually owns a water treatment plant, so we can pull water out of the ground and service many people on a backup generator of some sort. But say you don't have that and you don't have a well, what do? Well, you can store up bottled water, which a lot of people do. I've seen it as low as $2 for a 24 pack of purified water. You can start filling up your tub, getting 5 gallon Zephyr Hills containers or whatever containers full of it, and save all your jugs, your 2 liters, your everything, and fill it full of water. And then, of course, the most important thing is having a way to purify it. Now, that could be boiling, bleach drops. You could filter it through sand and rocks. You can filter it with one of them Pro Pure filters that cost $3 million. It doesn't really matter as long as you have a way to purify it. Thing number two, of course, the second most important thing that human beings need to live, other than air, of course, which is free for the time being. Uh, Food. What are you going to do? Um, my suggestion is what I do is every time I go to the grocery store, I always pick up a couple extra cans, a couple packs of ramen noodles, a little bit here, a little bit there, and you just start to see the thing grow. There's people that buy the prepackaged big boxes of storable foods that last for 50 gajillion years, and unfortunately, that costs a lot of money. Canned goods last a lot longer than the expiration date on it, and by canned goods I mean canned fruits, vegetables, meats. Of course, ramen noodles last forever. And also honey. Store up on honey. It's not only a great antibiotic, but it can also boost morale because it's nice and sweet, and it's good for you. Peanut butter. Another thing that just lasts for god awful amounts of time, and you just got to stir it back up, and eat on. Third thing, first aid. Very important. Sorry, there's mosquitoes here. I live in Florida. First aid is very important because you need band-aids, yes, but I mean, in a case of civil unrest, you might need to be able to pull a bullet out, stitch it, sterilize it. I have tons of peroxide, tons of alcohol, tons of bandages. I have a stitch kit in my truck and inside my house. I recommend tons of antibiotic ointments. And if you can store antibiotics, like if you have any left around, store as much as you can. And like I said, honey is a great antibiotic. Fourth thing, toiletries. This is something that I even started to overlook. Is unless you want to be wiping your butt with fuzzy leaves in the case of a long-term collapse or something like that, you might want to start storing up on some toilet paper. Women, need I say more? You need sanitary things, and also there's just all kinds of things, soaps, and shampoo can be a morale booster too, believe it or not. But things basically you want to keep yourself clean because you're not going to have a chance to do so all that often. So, hygiene, toothbrush, toothpaste, everything, store up a few toothbrushes and toothpaste. And my fifth thing, and of course, my favorite thing, as y'all know, firearms and ammo. Now, the two firearms that I say you can't do without is a 22 with plenty of high capacity magazines and regular capacity magazines, and also a single shot or pump shotgun. I wouldn't recommend the semi automatic just for the fact of you might need something that you don't have to work on too much, which is where I think break action period, like double barrel or single shot, is probably your best bet, because you don't have to. They're so simple, it's impossible to break them unless you really really are trying. And for every, and I also recommend a handgun. Obviously, a sidearm can be one of the most important things you have, and also a morale booster knowing that you have one with you all the time. Now, how much ammo do you need? I recommend about 1,000 rounds per caliber. I'm getting close to that. 22. I recommend 2 to 5,000 rounds of 22, because that can be your most important caliber. Um, Number 6, compost and seeds. Being able to plant and grow food, that could be very, very important. Just if you don't live in a concrete jungle, and you have a little space that you can do it. Composting is actually a lot easier than it looks. All you got to do is build a little cage around it, keep the animals out, and every time you have a little bit of food that's left over, instead of scraping it in the trash, you scrape it into your compost pile. You stir it every couple of days with a shovel. I like to spray mine down and keep it nice and moist. And you can make some of the nicest, richest soil ever. And I'll do a video on composting one day. And like I said, also on top of that, seeds. And also plants that are already growing. Take care of them, water them. Just do whatever you can. Number 7 is alternate energy, whether it be fire making, which you need for cooking, water purification, uh, water heating, everything else. Some people have solar, wind, water energy. And on top of that, kind of a subcategory is I have communication, a way to communicate with the outside world. I personally have ham and CB radios that I can communicate around the world with if need be. And I have battery powers and hand crank generator to go ahead and keep it going if I need it to. And just having a little GMRS radio or something, along with, here's another one, lots of batteries. You need lots of batteries. Uh, if you go to the Dollar Tree, one of them real dollar stores, where everything's really a dollar, you can find batteries, like 4 packs of double A's for $1, or 2 9 volts for $1. Store up on batteries. That's another alternate energy you need. Of course, you need a shelter. And most people live in some sort of a dwelling. Some don't. But to have a shelter, not only do you need the shelter with blankets and everything to keep you warm and different ways to do things, you also need a strategy to get in and out in case of an emergency. Whether it be fire or somebody trying to come and bombard your house, you need one way in and another way out, and so on and so forth. Number 9 is a plan. What happens if we have a fire? What happens if some guys coming and trying to steal our food? What happens if this? Have a plan, have a strategy, have a backup plan always to everything, because you got Murphy's Law, and what can wrong will go wrong. And number 10, and this is a very important one too, um, morale, you know. Uh, Something to boost morale, whether it be prayer, uh, candy can be one of the best morale boosters, hugs and kisses for your family, laughing, some making people laugh, whatever's going to boost your morale and make you able to survive the situation emotionally, because emotionally it's going to be hard, and also people overlook books, having books on paper, because they read on their iPad or whatever. But I hate to tell you, economic collapse, the iPad's not going to be worth the paper it was written on like money. It's going to be worth nothing. It doesn't work without electricity. Unless you have one of them solar battery chargers and you've already downloaded 18,000 books. Paper books are just a good thing to trade too. And like all these things that I'm talking about, you can trade most of them. And Also, going along with that, having new clothes and a way to wash them, having shampoo, like I said, and music is another morale booster. If you play an instrument or somebody you know does, great morale booster. Well, I'm the Tiddlywinksist, and again, subscribe, rate, comment. You know, have my next video sent right to your homepage if you subscribe. Thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. I'm out of here.